Speaking of other possible changes coming or changes that definitely are coming, but I want to go to you on this one first because you're Mr. Targeting. You love targeting. You're always supporting targeting. You think every hit should be targeting and players should be ejected. The rule change, the 1-year trial rule to modify the penalty structure for when players are called for targeting. Now, first of all, I will mention that they released the numbers. Targeting calls are down. There are fewer targeting calls per game that we're typically seeing. We have seen the last year, so that's good. We're seeing fewer of them. So now they want to try to maybe modify the rule in that you're no longer automatically suspended. So if you get disqualified from a game for targeting, you're out the rest of the game. But you don't have to sit the next game. Upon your second targeting penalty for the season, I guess it's cumulative over the year. So if you don't have any by November, just go off. But if you get your second targeting call, then you will have to sit out the first half of the next game. Your third targeting penalty, you got to sit out a full game. There will be an appeals process that the schools can file. They say, hey, this targeting call was bad. And maybe the sitting down, the suspension for a half or a full game can be overturned. My question is more, Bud, do you like these changes? Do you think they're not going far enough? What are your thoughts?
I mean, I don't think they go far enough. I do like them for the most part. It seems in some ways arbitrary, right? Like, as currently written, these changes would say if you pop a guy in the first quarter, you have to sit out the rest of the game. So you still have the ejection component there. If you're losing and a guy's been running his mouth the whole game and you want to go light his ass up in the final minute of the game, that's a free shot now. Because I'm not suspended the next game. Oh, boo-hoo, I got to miss like 90 seconds of this ball game, right?
Yeah.
And I know that other team's not going to retaliate on me, not this season, because we don't play him anymore. It's a one-shot deal. Literally, one shot. So it feels like it in some ways risks creating like perverse incentives, I don't know, man. But I think it's probably good overall. I don't think you need ejections for this. I think you need to go with like the flagrant 1, flagrant 2. Most of us are pretty capable of saying, hey, like this is clearly not a football type play. Like this is an absolute kill shot. What are we doing?
I think because for whatever reason, the flagrant 1, flagrant 2 gets a lot of traction on social media, analysts. We all like it. But for whatever reason, it doesn't get any traction with the rules committee or the coaches. Now, I do think some of that has to do with time. Like, do you want to delay the game more? It stops. They have to decide. I think they're making this way too complicated. Like, I don't like having this structured system. But trust me, I love the fact that you're not automatically suspended the second half or the first half of the next game. I love that. I think the targeting has gone way too far. I don't know why they can't come up with a system where there's a rules committee or a concussion committee. I mean, call it whatever you want. But if you get ejected in the game for a targeting, you're targeting in the game, it's worthy targeting, you're ejected for that game. Totally okay with that. But what we saw in the national championship game with Xavier Lucas didn't make any sense. That was a questionable targeting call as it was. But why can't we just have a committee that reviews them, former players, officials combined, have them look at them and dole out punishment accordingly? And then you can do it during the week. You've got a couple days, Monday, Tuesday, look at the film, take your time, have a discussion, run it by, and then you can dole out. Maybe it's a half. Maybe it's a full game if it's nasty. If it's really dirty, I don't have a problem if it's 2 games. But I just having these automatic, because I still think there's a chance you could see players. I mean, there are players who are really good, who are involved in a lot of tackling plays that could be subject to targeting, where there might be incidental. It happens all the time. We see them like, yep, that fits the definition of targeting, but was it because the ball carrier ducked his head? It's like, you gotta eject him. Like, but then if you go back and watch it, you're like, well, this kid wasn't dirty. It wasn't that bad. And like, so I don't like this automatic escalation. And I do think, Bud, you bring up an interesting point. Like, does it? And Tom was kind of joking, hey, if it's November and you got none, why not just cut it loose? Like, I don't like that aspect of it either, but I think that is something that could come into play.
I don't really understand why they couldn't review it for flagrant 1, flagrant 2. Like, the whole review of targeting already is does it meet this element? Does it meet this element? Does it meet this element? I think you could very easily lay out something like, here's your flagrant 2. Okay. It's clear launch above the head or neck area where the guy is not like ducking into the hit. Like, hey, his initial launch path was clearly aimed above the shoulder pads. He's attacking like with his helmet. It's a clear kill shot. You could have a launch element in there if you want to, right? And then I think we all agree, like, football is a bang bang game. If you're just tackling somebody hard and I'm aiming at his rib cage and all of a sudden he ducks into it, and yes, it becomes like a really bad but incidental hit, right? Like, that's more just accidental stuff that is just bang bang. Like the stuff that, if you're trying to protect defenseless players and you're trying to curtail the behavior of like trying to kill folks with your head, I think you could pretty easily isolate that and have the elements review for that. You're already reviewing with a rubric of elements anyway. I don't really get why they don't want to do that.
And the other thing too, like the idea that going to the flagrant 1, flagrant 2 reviews would, stop the game and create more stoppages. They're already reviewing every single targeting call to begin with. Like, they call it and then they go to the booth and be like, all right, let's make sure we actually didn't screw this up and it really was targeting. So I don't think it would add much more time. I just think that the best thing you can do, and like they have this in the college basketball level, they have the flagrant 1, the flagrant 2, and it annoys fans just like everything does when they stop the game to review it. It's annoying. But the one thing I would say that basketball has is they have very clear-cut, defined rules of what it is, which it's easier to do in basketball because it's just, you're not supposed to be going after a guy's head. So whether it's intentional or not, if you elbow a guy in the side of the head, they're just going to call you for the flagrant, which I don't really
I know. Sorry, John.
No, go ahead.
I think I know the real reason why they don't want to do this. Because if you go to flagrant 1, flagrant 2, that whole big box of flagrant 1 essentially is an admission that the game is unsafe. Hey, this was a really bad hit. It's also like not purposeful. It's just something that happens in our game. And 20 years from now, the concussion lawyers get out here with the lawsuits. Like, oh, really? Interesting. Okay. So you see what I'm saying? Like keeping it all as one penalty implies like agency on the behalf of the player. And it sort of implies that he has total control of the outcome when he really kind of doesn't.
Yeah, I just wish they'd get rid of it. Period. Blank. Dirty hits are dirty hits. Eject them for that.
Right.
Other proposed rule changes. Biggest one of all, the uniforms. Got to wear pants, boys. Sorry, none of those thigh high hot pants, shorts. You can actually get a violation of the uniform rule would be a 15-yard penalty. Can you imagine getting your team a 15-yard penalty because your pants were hiked up too high, coming to the sideline and coach just chewing your ass out for that? Other ones. A fair catch kick. Under a new proposal, team would choose to attempt a fair catch kick after a completed or awarded fair catch. The kick would be a field goal place kick with a holder, no tee, or a drop kick from the spot where the returner caught the ball. So basically a free kick. If the kick goes through the uprights, it's 3 points to your team's total. So it wouldn't be something you see a lot, but it could be something you saw once in a while that could end up deciding a game, and that would be kind of fun. Other rule proposals, just some stuff with the numbers on punts. There's, stuff about taunting and unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. And then the other bigger one, offensive pass interference penalties would be 10 yards instead of the current 15. Do any of these stand out as anything important to you?
Well, scoring was way down this year. So like OPI not being 15 probably will increase scoring by some small amount, I would think. Mm-hmm. It might also, like, if you're less penalized for it, like you might see more of the behavior, which if it's flagged at the same rate means you're getting away with it at the same rate, which, if you have more of it and the same rate of enforcement and the penalty is less, so you might be encouraging more of the behavior. So you might have like more guys creating separation in that way. Did you see the one, like the jersey numbers on punts?
Yes. Yeah. You want me to read? I'll read it real quick.
I'm trying. What play caused this? I'm trying to think here.
I'm pretty sure it was USC. Yeah.
Yeah. They put the backup quarterback in, was wearing the same number as the punter, and then he completed a pass.
Yeah, as written by the NCAA release, on punts where jersey number exceptions, players who do not wear numbers 50 to 79 are used, the snapper and 2 adjacent linemen on either side who are lined up or touching the tackle box are ineligible receivers by position and become exceptions to the numbering rule when the snapper takes his position. This makes it clear which players are eligible and ineligible receivers in the formation.
So wait, that's not really the USC thing, right?
No, this is just to make it easier on the umpires and the teams.